folks, I thought I'd take a little back road here on the way home. Look, some great looking farms here, right? Look at this one. Oh, a race car. Here's an old barn that used to be. Wow, it's gone. It is gone. Come around the corner, you think you'd see somebody like that. Missed the curve. Gotta stop and see if you can help. I was going 4.5 miles an hour over the speed limit. Somebody had another idea. Definitely an old farm with new barns. And we know what that means. Rolling hills here. We're in St. Joseph County. Craiglow Road. I wonder how low Craig can go. Here's the Flower Field Fellowship Hall. Howardsville. I've not been down here. The road appears to be a chicane. Uh-oh, here he comes again. That's right, Jackie Stewart. I tell you all about the chicanes. Oh, look at the old timing booth here in the corner. That's a hot corner. Mario Andretti didn't have the right compound on the racing tires. Slid off the road right there. He needed better adhesion. That's right, and through the chicane, your tires must have the right compound for the adhesion. Thank you, Jackie. Jackie Stewart. Nice little swamp right there. I wonder if I can come up with a swamp story. I did go and take a look for the Fouke monster with my daughter down in Fouke, Arkansas. It was during daylight. It was only an 1.5 hour long tour. All right, swamp during the daylight. There he goes, right there, but don't shoot him, please. No, we didn't see anything. Coming up on Flatbush Road. Flatbush Road. I know where Flatbush Avenue is. You can take a train to it. So they said on the movie The Warriors. There really is a Flatbush area over there where those guys shot that movie. Seeger sang about Nutbush. Nutbush city limit. Well, we're about to enter Nutbush up here.
Drive 1.8
how do you like
miles.
this? That's pretty nice. We're going to look at something up here. I think a farmer is plowing his field, or there's a dust storm, or both. The fields are wide open, 30, 35, 40 mile an hour winds, and see how the wind's blowing? I look down here from the, boy, this is blowing down here pretty darn good. I think it's a dust storm. Nice homes over here on this side of the street. It's probably one time was a field. Very greatly improved. It's a golf course back there. Looks like homes built on a golf course. It may be the old mill golf course south of Schoolcraft. I do see heavy farm machinery up here, so it's a combination of wind and the farmer, I believe they're planting. So we'll probably take a look at this in a minute. Just past the entrance, it's Pine View Golf Club. Pine View. Yeah, this is quite an operation going on right here. It's so cool because there's nobody behind me. I can go nice and slow here. That's the field they're in. I smell light chemicals, so they are spraying as they're going along. Put the window up using a tractor. Yep, they're planting. Yep. And then back over here, you can see it's all irrigated, this field. There's another tractor that appears to be pulling tanks. So this one might be...
Prepare to turn sharp left in half a mile.
This one right here is probably spraying. Back in there. Sure don't see that every day. His companion is still working the fields behind us here. Yeah, he does have tanks on there. You can see the little spray heads they're spraying out in front. On the bottom along that bar. Discharging that chemical. Yep. Alright, be right back. Okay, we're going to come back through here and kind of catch him as he drives away from us. Interesting. All right, that's how we're fed. They grow the crops that feed the animals or create other chemicals that we benefit from. All right there. This fall, they'll be out here with the big harvesters. But it all starts there. Pretty much. Yeah, to prepare the field. Yeah, big plows, discs, and drags, all in one big tandem setup. Here's the entrance to that golf course. Yeah, it's something else. The heavy tractors can pull those things back. When I was younger, farmers were talking about their, 6-bottom plow, and they got a 12-bottom plow. Well, some still do this, so forth. They take care of a couple hundred acres like that, and work all into the night, all night long. Now these
prepare to turn left in half a mile.
Now the newer machinery, they can finish 1,000 acres with a couple big tractor units like that in pretty short order.
Take the next left onto M26.
Yeah, coming across little swamps here. I wonder what river this one could be. It's the Flowerfield Creek. There she is, the Flowerfield Creek. I don't know any of the history down here in Flowerfield other than it was old pioneer area from back in the day, 1830s, 1840s.
Prepare to turn left in half a mile.
back. Now here we are at 131 north and south. To go north, we have to go south. Sounds like a Civil War scenario or something. Be right back. Executing one of these brand new Michigan left-hand turns off the highway, so you don't have to cut through the little places where the state highway vehicles cross over. And it's a lot safer and it's legal. Northbound, all brand new highway. Be right back. Newer Dollar General. All here pretty much in the middle of little storefront businesses. This little white house right here with a peak, a roof peak, next to a Western shop. That used to be a gun store years ago. Go in here and store your boats, wrap them up for the winter time. I think there's a cement plant right up here. Well, it also has spray and everything for agriculture. There's all your chemicals. There's the chemical train behind there with the tank cars. All right, delivering the chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, things like that. There's your cement plant, and they're waiting in line. Yep. And then it turns a little swampy on either side of the road here. But not as swampy as it is to the east or the west of here. This is actually high ground. About the only place feasible to put this highway through when they did. Okay? Now they want to put it through and bypass Schoolcraft up here. And they want to bypass it north of town. And I can show you where that is in another video where they were talking. And then bypassing the town to the west, all prime farmland. Oh man, all the way down to just up ahead here where we're at, reconnecting in the Schoolcraft Prairie. You can see the town up ahead. I'll show you where they were thinking of that road coming out at. Beautiful, big storage facility back here. Of course, there's one owner of all these fields right here. There's one human owner. I know who it is, it's not me, but they are the same family that bought our farm and we sold. They literally own thousands of acres down here south and north and northwest of Schoolcraft. Big outfit. So is this right up here on our right. This is also agricultural. JRS. It's Fibers for Life. And you can see off in the distance across the field a big, shiny, huge grain handling facility. All owned again by the same family. There's not a field here that isn't. Any more that I know of. There's a few still privately owned. I do know a couple families that still have held onto their property. And one of the families is where that highway would go right around Schoolcraft, right up here, about a mile away, and connect to this part of the highway right about down in here. So all those farmers with all those fields right there would be selling to the state of Michigan to put the new bypass through, like they did south of here down in Constantine. Okay? Don't go through Old Town Constantine anymore, which was beautiful, like Schoolcraft, ancient, you know, very, very cool. Now you wouldn't even know it was there. You bypass right around it. And it's killed the little businesses in the town that have been there for time and eternity. coming to Schoolcraft. Here's B&G Glove Company, the world's largest glove store. You need a pair of gloves or tarps, go in there. Fields, again, both sides of the street as your highway as you're coming into Schoolcraft. Here is an old farm. I do not remember the name of the family. The silo is still here. The barns and the old farmhouse that stood here was gorgeous. A two-story, rather Italianate style home. Here's a barn right here, old barn that they have turned into a casting place. They cast those lawn ornaments in there out of cement, whatever. Yep. And now we're entering the village of Schoolcraft. I graduated from school here, from high school here. I started here in 7th grade. And no, I'm not going to tell any of the good stories. I do have many good stories. We were washing our cars in this place in high school. That's how long that's been there. This was not here. There was a small gas station right here on this corner, and it grew. This old Victorian was here. So are many of these other homes here as we go along. A couple have been raised. The old funeral home, Robertson Funeral Home up here on the corner. Beautiful, beautiful brick funeral home was raised. This one still stands. Dairy aisle's closed. Here's the Schoolcraft Volunteer Fire Department. Bud's Bar over here on the right. Schnauzer's on the left. Milk. Here's the old post office, turned into Mike's Barbershop after it was a taxidermy. Post office, taxidermy, barbershop. There's Marjo's restaurant here in town. You can buy your gravestones there. Some of the old homes still on one side. This side, they've all been raised and other things built. Businesses, that one remains. This little place still remains. Used to be the laundromat right here. And before it was the laundromat, it was a gun shop. Okay? Or after it was the laundromat, it was a gun shop. Then it turned into a party store. And that other corner over there where you see the McDonald's, that was where the sporting goods store and the gun shop was. And here was the golf dealer. This was Mel's Golf Service, Mel Meyer. Beyond the sporting goods store right here was nothing. These were open fields. Of course, the cemetery here. Okay? I got a story to tell you about that place back there when it was a laundromat. And I'll be right back with you and tell you about that. As we proceed along here, along 131, there's a couple car dealers. Of course, camper sales and so forth. A fantastic Chevy dealer down here. There's wide open spaces, zone commercial. Other businesses along here that have built in farmers' fields over the years. If you ever went to TJ Maxx or places like that, this is where the clothes are all bulk sorted and everything, and they're shipped out of here to all those different stores. Over here, another big trailer sales location. This was Burson's Egg Farm when I was a boy in the 60s and the 70s. It's where the Burson family owned and maybe still do. Right back there was their egg barns. That's when 131 right here was barely more than asphalt. All right, I'll be right back. Several people have been killed here. I've seen 4 with my own eyes. I stopped to help at one T-bone back here. And one of the ladies' 2 sisters in their 30s, one sister driving was pinned in her vehicle, and her other sister was thrown about 100 feet, skipping down the highway, coming to rest in the middle of the highway. and they got T-boned by a big late 1970s four-door Continental. Older couple driving it, and they didn't see the new stop, whatever the configuration was, and it blew right through it and T-boned those girls. Yep, they survived, but the other three that I seen there, they certainly did not. It's been reconfigured again. It's much safer, but they still have accidents there. Unbelievable. All right, heading northbound. Tell you about that funny story about that laundromat. One day, a couple groups, large groups of bikers came through town heading up north to the Blessing of the Bikes, and up in northern Michigan. And these guys were they were of motorcycle gang variety, famous motorcycle gang variety, without mentioning names. They decided they're going to stop and go in there and wash their clothes. And so 30 or 40 of them pull off, and they're in there washing their clothes. Some of them came next door to Mel's Golf and filled up, got getting fuel and used the restroom and candy bars and that. The others are sitting there running up and down the road out in front, doing wheelies and burning out. The cop at the time, the Schoolcraft cop, came down there and took a look, and there was nothing he could do but turn his lights on, and his one light, the big cherry on top, and flash it and kind of wave them on, and they didn't bite. And so he called the state police, and the state police got involved. The sheriff department heard the call, and it wasn't long, and there was quite a bit of law enforcement presence there. And the bikers were standing around, several of them inside the laundromat, stark naked. They were doing their laundry and it hadn't dried yet. They had nothing to wear, and they put it back on. Yep, I remember it wasn't long, and they were dressed in whatever dampness their jeans and leathers and whatever they were washing leathers, but you know, and they were sent on their way. I never heard any tickets were written. It was just, come on, let's go. And I think that large presence there, that kind of coaxed them along. But very, very, very famous, well-known biker groups. So, anyways, with that being said, I'm almost to my exit here now, and I hate riding behind semis that kick out stones and damage your windshield and stuff like that. I think I'd learn. See you in the next one. Thanks for riding along today. It's been fun. It really has. Stay safe.